Hey, I know it hurts. I know it hurts, but we need to focus. Don't lean back, okay?
You're just gonna sit here and die.
I'm trying, but it's too much. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
Gina's life at over 600 pounds was far from ordinary, especially when it came to personal hygiene. Believe it or not, Gina bathed only once a month, and that too, only under the insistence of her wife or mother. Imagine avoiding a shower for that long with all the smells and germs accumulating. Gross, right? Let's find out how Gina ended up in this situation and how she tackled her challenges.
Except on the days where I'm forced to take a bath, which I really hate doing. Me and my wife Beth live with my mom, my sister, and her fiance Keith. And usually it's either my mom or my wife that eventually make me take a bath. But I try to avoid it as much as I can.
G? You have to get washed up today.
And if you thought that was sickening, wait till you hear about Gina's eating habits. From the moment she woke up, Gina was all about food. At the start of her episode, her wife Beth served her breakfast, which shockingly consisted of 3 plates loaded with junk food, no veggies, eggs, or anything remotely healthy. This eating routine was just the tip of the iceberg in Gina's struggle with weight. So, what led her to gain so much?
When I wake up, I'm starving, and I can't wait to eat. Before she goes to work, Beth makes us all what we need for breakfast. Eating, it makes me feel good, it makes me feel safe, it makes me feel happy. It takes away all my pain and depression. So no matter what it's costing me and how much I hate my life, I can't stop.
Gina's journey with weight began early. By age 10, she weighed over 150 pounds. Her mother, feeling guilty for enabling Gina, often gave in to her food tantrums instead of setting boundaries. Adding to the chaos at home, Gina's father was abusive, often punishing her and her sister harshly for minor mistakes. This toxic environment only pushed Gina further into the comfort of excessive eating, ballooning to around 300 pounds by the age of 14.
And by the time I was 10, I was already over 150 pounds.
Gina's childhood, I was the bad mom. You know, she would fight me to get food, and instead of just saying no and dealing with a temper tantrum, I just gave in. I think I let her manipulate me 150%. So I think for Gina, I carry so much guilt that it was my fault she was so heavy.
One particular incident on the show highlighted Gina's dependency on food. Once, when there was food at home that could be cooked, Gina, instead of waiting, called Beth, who was at work, to bring home some fast food. Despite Beth initially refusing and insisting she would cook when she got home, Gina started fighting until Beth reluctantly agreed to bring the junk food. This incident shows not only Gina's unhealthy relationship with food, but also Beth's struggles as a supportive partner.
Hi, babe, where are you?
Oh, I'm going home.
Oh, okay. Well, can you go to the diner and pick up us some food?
No, we have food at home. I can cook at home.
You're not gonna cook this late.
I can.
No, you're not. What's the big friggin' deal? I don't get it. Just go.
Wait, you gotta call it.
No, you're gonna call because you have to call.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right, thanks. Love you. Bye.
Recognizing the dire state of her health, Gina, driven by the fear of dying from her weight, decided to seek help. She and Beth set off for Houston to consult Dr. Now. But even on the way to a healthy life, Gina couldn't resist her old habits, asking Beth to stop for junk food shortly after starting their journey. Gina's physical discomfort forced them to stop at a hotel just 4 hours into the trip, significantly delaying their progress.
The one thing I can count on with food is that it calms me down. And if I'm gonna have any chance of making it to the end of this trip, I'm gonna need that help.
You want the regular or double? Meal or no?
Yeah, but chicken nuggets.
Hi, how can I help you?
Can I get a #1 with cheese, chicken nuggets, and order the chicken fries?
1447, the second window, please.
Thank you.
At her initial checkup, Gina's weight was over 606 pounds. Dr. Now, understanding the severity of her condition, prescribed a strict 1,200-calorie diet and recommended regular exercise. However, Gina struggled with the new regimen. Once back home, she immediately argued with Beth and her mother to bring her fast food, and when they refused, she blamed them for her problems. Would Gina manage to overcome her old habits and follow Dr. Now's plan?
Something that I probably shouldn't have, but
You have to have what's on the diet.
I know, but I don't feel good and I'm hungry.
I understand that, but that's not a reason or an excuse.
Okay, Beth, can you go get me something?
We can't do that. You have to have what's on your diet.
You guys aren't eating healthy. When you guys said you would do this with me and you're not.
Unfortunately, by the end of her episode, Gina had lost only 51 pounds. Dr. Now, seeing her lack of commitment, canceled her eligibility for weight loss surgery. But, showing his typical compassion, he offered her another chance to lose the necessary weight to qualify in the future. Gina's journey is a stark reminder of how deeply ingrained habits and lack of serious commitment can hinder one's path to a healthy life.
But you showed me today that you're not sticking with it like you need. So I'm canceling your surgery and we're not moving ahead with that today.
I'm just really mad at myself right now because I've been working so hard.
Here's the deal. I'm gonna give you one more chance.
Okay.
But if I'm gonna move ahead with you at all, then I need to see you lose good amount of weight over a consistent amount of time.
Okay.
So you need to lose 75 pounds over the next 3 months. If you don't do that, you won't be doing the program or getting weight loss surgery from me.
Penny Sager's life was confined to her bed, which served as her sleep, bathroom, and dining area all in one. At the time of her episode, her young son Liam was about 5 or 6 years old. Penny couldn't even get out of bed to prepare her son for school, and every morning, Liam had to come to her bedside to say goodbye before he left. It's a heart-wrenching situation, not just for Penny, but for her child as well.
This is my bathroom. This is my dinner table.
I don't feel good.
I might as well be a prisoner in jail. It's gonna be good. Food addiction has become my life. Hey, Ed, I need a paper towel. I started out just like anyone else, and every time I had a problem, it's a pound, 2 pounds, 5 pounds.
Let's step back to when Penny and her husband first met. Back then, Penny weighed around 450 pounds. While hefty, it wasn't a showstopper for the couple. They could still enjoy life together. However, things turned for the worse after getting married, and more so after Penny became pregnant. Her weight began to spiral out of control, deeply affecting both her marriage and her relationship with her husband. Over the years, they stopped sharing a bed due to her increasing size, and her husband became her full-time caregiver, dependent on her disability income for their living expenses. Talk about a tough situation.
She had gotten pregnant, her weight went up to, I believe it was 630. After she had Liam, she had a hard time taking the weight off. It has affected our relationship extremely. It's been many years now since we've actually slept in the same bed.
Right there hurts.
Despite her severe health issues and immobility, Penny's eating habits remained shockingly unhealthy. Each week, she sent her husband Edgar out with a shopping list packed with snacks and junk food like chips, soda, candies, and ice cream. Edgar, unwittingly playing the role of enabler, catered to all her dietary whims. It's a classic case of needing to set some healthy boundaries in a relationship.
Chips, soda, cake mix, candy, it's usually junk. The list is done, but I know she likes ice cream.
Ed loves Penny, but Penny is very stubborn, and Ed does enable her. He buys whatever she tells him, and if he doesn't, he's gonna be in trouble.
Determined to turn her life around and be a present mother for her son, Penny decided to lose weight and pursue weight loss surgery. However, her journey to Houston to meet Dr. Now was marked by several stops at fast food outlets, a move reminiscent of other contestants who hadn't fully embraced the challenge ahead. Upon her first checkup, she tipped the scales at over 530 pounds. Dr. Now conducted a thorough examination and pointed out that while Penny had genuine health problems, some were exaggerated or imaginary. Was Penny ready to commit to real change?
Got a lot of issues. Some of them are real, some of them are imaginary. She seems like she played a role of being a victim and encouraging family to be enabler. And this dynamic is very difficult to break. We're gonna keep Penny under observation and a strict diet.
Dr. Now admitted Penny to the hospital and implemented a strict diet to help her lose at least 50 pounds per month. The first month showed promise, with Penny losing around 40 pounds. Encouraged by this initial success, she underwent weight loss surgery, which reduced the size of her stomach to decrease her appetite naturally. It seemed like a significant step towards a healthier life. But was it really going to be the catalyst Penny needed?
When you're breathing, then you're going to start to get a little sleepy now.
This is my life, and I'm going to fight for this life.
So she'll be okay.
She'll be okay, bud. You gotta think positive. That's why we pray.
Surprisingly, the surgery did not become the transformative experience everyone hoped for. Post-operation, Penny grew even more stubborn and uncooperative with the hospital staff and doctors. She resisted doing even minor exercises or making any effort to sit up in bed. Dr. Now grew increasingly concerned about her lack of progress and motivation, noting that she wouldn't lose the necessary weight without a genuine effort. At one point, Penny shockingly remarked to the staff, "No one told me that I had to lose the weight after surgery." Like, seriously, Penny.
Bariatric soft diet, 1,200 calories.
Why am I on a soft diet? That's the orders that he needs to get his poop in a group, or else I'm gonna order something. This is so stupid. I gotta find out why my diet is this diet. No one told me I had to lose weight when I got here.
I'm very concerned about Penny's behavior. She's not losing weight anymore. She's being given the right diet. There's no reason.
After 4 months in the hospital without significant progress, Penny continued to find new excuses for her inaction every time Dr. Now questioned her commitment. Faced with her non-serious attitude, Dr. Now decided to send her home. Penny's follow-up was marred by missed appointments, and a year into her weight loss journey, she had not shed any additional weight. After a particularly intense and emotional conversation, Penny expressed her desire to quit the program and simply go home. Penny's story is a stark reminder of how crucial personal commitment and a genuine desire to change are in overcoming obesity.
Penny lives in a false reality, and she chooses to overeat. She does not admit it. The people that I operated at the same time I did your surgery, today they're 250 pounds.
I'm feeling like I've just been sucker punched again. Why didn't this do what it's supposed to do when I'm doing what I'm supposed to do? Where's my yellow brick road? Why didn't I get it? Because I'm working hard, Dr. Nizout, and I'm being...
All right, prepare yourself for one of the most compelling yet distressing stories from the show featuring Cindy Vella. When Cindy first appeared on our screens, it was evident that her battle with weight was not just a physical issue, but a deep-seated emotional ordeal as well. At 45, Cindy weighed over 600 pounds and was completely bedridden, her world shrinking to the confines of her bed.
I try not to think about my life and how bad things are. But it's hard to do that with my body, which hurts all the time because it's breaking down. And I don't feel like I'm even living anymore. It's already almost impossible for me to stand and get around now. So I'm trapped in this bed pretty much all day, every day.
Cindy's struggles with food began when she was just a little girl, at the tender age of 8. After a traumatic incident involving a family friend, Cindy turned to food for comfort. She believed that if she gained weight, she could protect herself from further harm. A tragic reasoning that shows just how deeply her experiences affected her.
I was first molested when I was 8 years old. The person that molested me was a family friend. I didn't fully understand it, but I knew it was a violation. And that was the first time I realized if I was eating, I felt a little better. So the food was a comfort for me. And I needed that because that kept happening. But as I started to eat more and put on some weight.
As Cindy grew up, her life didn't get any easier. Her parents' divorce deepened her dependence on food. And by her 30s, Cindy was not only battling severe obesity, but also dealing with mental health issues, lymphedema, and diabetes. These conditions made everyday tasks incredibly challenging, pushing her further into isolation.
So I could no longer work at that point. It was too painful. It took years for my leg to start to heal. I became partially bedridden. But then I was just at home eating all day. That's all I had to do was to eat. So then I just started gaining like crazy. So over the next few years, I put on a lot more weight. And by the time I was 30, I was like 500.
At the urging of her friend Sandy, Cindy decided it was time for a change. She sought out Dr. Yunan Nauzaradan, hoping that his expertise could help her regain control of her life. Dr. Now set her up with a strict diet and exercise plan meant to prepare her for bariatric surgery. However, changing lifelong habits is no small feat, and Cindy struggled to stick to the plan.
You realize that, right?
Yes.
So, what do you eat in a day?
It's weird. I hardly get like hunger pains. So most of the time I truthfully eat maybe twice a day. Like I'll have breakfast and then I'll have a dinner.
You're not being completely honest with me about how much you eat. But do you realize that you're killing yourself with the food or not?
Throughout her journey on the show, Cindy's battle with her diet was evident. Despite her best intentions and the clear plan laid out by Dr. Now, old habits and emotional eating patterns were tough to break. By the end of her episode, Cindy had lost 42 pounds, but it wasn't enough to qualify for the surgery. She needed to lose 70 pounds to move forward.
You read every day and follow the diet and stick with it. Okay? You ready to go home today?
Yes, very.
Okay. So, we're going to check your weight and see how you're doing before we discharge you. Okay.
Despite not hitting her target, Cindy didn't lose hope. She remained optimistic about her future and determined to keep working towards her goal. She said, "I'll keep trying my hardest and hopefully I'll be in a good enough place to get surgery. I've learned a lot during this time." Her story ended on a note of resilience, with Cindy committed to continuing her fight for a healthier life. However, since the show ended, there hasn't been much update on Cindy's progress.
With a weight loss of 70 pounds. And we are also going to start you doing psychotherapy to help give you another push in the right direction. You got it? All right. I'll see you soon.
Samantha's life was like being trapped in a nightmare she couldn't wake up from. Weighing over 600 pounds and almost completely bedridden, her life was confined to the four corners of her bedroom. Let's rewind to when Samantha first appeared on our screen.
Because I've let my weight get so out of control that I'm barely functioning. And it's getting harder and worse every single day. And I know I'm very close to becoming bedridden. So at this point, I wish my life was just a nightmare that I could wake from. But I don't. Instead, I struggle to do what I need to do.
Her world revolved around her next meal. Literally. She had her day planned around food deliveries, her main source of joy, yet she couldn't even walk to the door to pick them up herself. Can you imagine that? Your happiness arrives at the doorstep, but it's just out of reach.
I have to have it brought to me because walking up and down stairs, I'm too weak to do that now. And I'm scared to admit that just walking across the apartment to get the food is almost more than I can handle. But instead of thinking about that, I just think about the food I'm about to eat and how full it's about to make me.
Samantha's problems didn't stop at her health. They affected her life too. Unable to hold down a traditional job because of her size and mobility issues, Samantha turned to something quite unconventional: fetish modeling. She filmed herself eating for viewers who paid to watch online. It was a way to make ends meet, but at what cost?
I chose to start fetish modeling for a website that catered to people who liked large women. So I have a setup in my apartment where I can film myself eating. And I eat for people. I just eat what I want, and they pay for it, as long as I film it. So that's how I make a living and keep going. And it makes me feel appreciated. So I'm happy to do it.
Feeling desperate for a change, Samantha reached out to Dr. Nauzaradan, affectionately known as Dr. Now. Getting to him was a battle in itself. It took multiple health workers to help her into the ambulance, a stark reminder of how serious her situation was. Dr. Now put her on a strict 1,200-calorie diet and challenged her to lose 250 pounds in 2 months. It was a tall order. Would Samantha be able to follow through?
Okay, so what is your weight now?
As of this morning, it was 940.
So in a month and a half, you put on almost another 150 pounds?
Yeah.
So you realize that your weight is getting to a very dangerous point right now, and you're running out of time.
I know.
So why are you gaining more weight while you're in the hospital?
Well, I wasn't really following any kind of a diet plan. I mean, that's my problem.
Fast forward to the end of her episode, Samantha had managed to drop from over 970 pounds to 616 pounds. Impressive, right? But here's the twist. Samantha felt the show did more harm than good. She criticized My 600 Lady Life for what she saw as exploiting the struggles of its participants. She described her experience as being ridiculed on national TV, which she claimed hindered her healing process more than it helped.
And thankfully, all that has been effective to get her weight down. But the concern now is the next steps with her and making sure we can help her stay on track so she doesn't end up gaining everything back and end up in the same situation again.